I do not know why it made me go vertical, but I guess we're going live vertical. I did set it for horizontal, but for some reason it wants me to do vertical. What the heck? But either way, we're here. And if you notice, whoa, hang on. We were in the barn. So I did kind of have to get used to the setup here. We'll play with it as far as doing lives here in the barn. And finally got good internet. So let me know how it looks on your guys' end, because I can't always tell from my end, but hopefully it turns out good. Let me get into the live chat here. Top messages, all messages. There we go. But the whole reason for the Q&As, we've done them many times before, is to help you guys out with keeping aquariums, because there's lots of ways to do it. There's lots of fish. There's lots of information. And, sometimes we need a place to go to help out with that. And that's what this is. And if I do not know the answers as well, there's amazing people in the community here with us that do and may know the answer. Or at least we can at least brainstorm the ideals together, which, you never know where that leads to when you can plant a seed and it can grow into something that can help others. That's always good. But wow, your fish room is backwards orientation. Is it? Yeah, no, I don't know. It doesn't. No, it's right. I guess it kind of looks backwards, but it's not. That's actually the end part. The door's over there. I think it's because just where that sits. When is website gonna be back up? Yeah. So, dude, um, the website has just been a nightmare, absolute nightmare. I've been with GoDaddy for 10 years now, and they have not given me a deadline. I called them today. The manager was supposed to get a hold of me and call me back. Never did. They did give me my money back for the service I paid for that. But I have my website paid off for like the next 5 years because I've been with them for 10 years. And it's almost been a month. And imagine working, not like being able to get paid for a whole month. Like, I'm hurting right now. But like everything's so bittersweet right now. It's so weird. Like it's such a thorn in my side. Like beyond that, like there's so many great things happening. Like we've got internet in the barn here. Now we could do lives. We could probably walk around, do things. But as well as I've been grinding all my time on that enclosure build. So some of you guys have been following me for quite some time, know that I've been working on this enclosure build. And that's pretty much what I've been doing with all my time this whole time. Is I've been so hyper focused on that. It's been ridiculous. Matter of fact, I put in 26 hours the other day. Seven no, actually no, it was 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. So shoot, a lot more than 26. What was it? Anyways, I'm still kind of recovering over that. That was mostly getting decking boards in. Biggest reason why I've been hyper focused on that is with treated wood. If you don't get it up off the ground, you don't get it where it needs to be, it can warp and bend. So when you're spending thousands of dollars on wood and you want to get it together, and that's pretty much all your money. Like I had to use credit to do this, and like I am tapped. And if GoDaddy doesn't do something, I don't know what to do. Now, saying that, I guess there is a way. If you guys want and been needing something that I have, and it's something that I have on the website, email us. If you have a PayPal, I can go through PayPal. We can go through that, and if you want to support or something. Besides that, and yeah, that enclosure is the thumbnail on the live stream. Oh, and the letters are backwards, so I guess I am backwards. That's weird, but hopefully not an issue. But yeah, the email would be LRB Aquatics at gmail.com, or you can do lrbaquatics at orders at gmail.com. Just easier to do lrbaquatics at gmail.com. Because I know like some people have been wanting trout goodeids and stuff. I haven't really been able to like think about like the next step, next processes, because everything's been into like this build, which I'm gonna show you guys here sooner than later. Like it's been a massive build. There's over a mile worth of wood in that enclosure build out there, which it's huge. And it really didn't cost me that much. It's just a lot of time. I mean, for what it is, it really helps knowing how to do things and save money that way. When is your website going to be back up? I'm not really sure. I wish I had a deadline date. They first told me 2 days, then they told me like 7 to 10 days. And then after 14 days, they were like, oh, this is just such a complicated thing. And it's really not. And it's all their fault. Like, I literally had nothing to do with it, in the sense that they were changing their platform. So I've been with them for 10 years. Then they were like, oh, well, this isn't going to be active anymore. You got to switch all your stuff over to this like new design and everything else, which they were putting AI in it and all that kind of crap, which never really does usually help much. And so I had it all designed out, and there's a CSV file, which is a file that you can take all your products from your website, export it from that, and import it into the new one. And well, that didn't work at all. Obviously, they can't even get it to work. And I don't know why it's so difficult for them to do their job, and why it's like it's really screwing me over. Really, really screwing me over. But besides that, the build's looking great. We're in the fish barn, and hopefully we get things rolling here again. We'll figure something out. It's just a little bump in the road. Just doesn't really make sense to me. It's the weirdest. Like, it just doesn't make sense, or why they would even kick the can down the road. Like, just tell me you don't know how to do it, and then I'll do something else. I'll do it myself. I would have put all that in. I could have put all that in, redone it all by now. It's crazy. T-Moss, fish enjoyer, can I work for you? If you work for free, because right now I am broke, buddy. I am broke. Internet looks good. That's good to hear. Still can't believe it forced us into vertical mode here. Really wish it was horizontal. That way we could get more of a spread of the actual fish room. I guess I can pan you guys over a little bit. My dirty desk. My desk is definitely used. You should see what the one in front of me looks like, because it's got all my construction stuff. And yes, the lights are starting to turn off now. And I don't know, I might have to start pushing the timers back so they won't turn off while we're on here. And you guys know I was doing the Wednesdays at 8, and it became an issue because I was always hungry. Like, that's usually when I eat dinner, is around that time. And so if I'm really hungry and I've got like that clock in front of me, or I feel like, you guys know what it's like to be hungry. You don't want to be hungry. So 9:30 just works better for you, or for me. So kind of had to do that. Aquarium Fantasy says, "Do you have any other options to get the website back up and running if they fail to get it up in time?" Well, they've already failed to get it up in time and just kept kicking the can down the road. But right now, I feel like I need some retribution from it. And like the other option would be to like go through Shopify, but that's like I'd have to start it all over again. And I got a really good discount on that 5 year deal that I made with them. That's the whole reason why I paid for 5 years. I mean, there's a lots of options you could do. Like, even worse comes to worse, like I could do, like I said, through email, or I could get on Aquabid or eBay or somewhere. I'd hate to do all that because like more fees and other stuff. I really prefer it being funneled into the website because that's easier to workflow. Really, with as much as I do, workflow is everything, and I just really want them to just get it done, so I don't have to freaking spend all the time. There was 419 products, which is really crazy to think about. Like you usually look at my website and as the in stock thing, there's usually like 4 or 5 pages, but we had managed to collect up to 419 different products throughout the years, which was just not really products. I really hate to say it's products. It's just what they label it as products. But like fish, plants, and stuff, I mean, technically they're not product, but listings, I should say. Yeah, I mean, sort of product. Hate to think of it that way, though. Time change will be in a month, so might as well move those timers. Oh, we still do time changes. So silly. Aquarium Fantasy says, Lucas, what do you have available to sell? So my shrimp, like my blue dreams, my fire reds, my yellow neo caradinas, my tangerine tigers. Um, what else? My yellow king kongs, and as far as fish, shoot, there's a lot. Random guppies, endlers, pairs, males, females, whatever you want, endler, random endlers. I've got those all day long. Some crazy, crazy genetics. Matter of fact, I just pulled this like all blue out. And I have a video and all the like the build and some things here and there for you guys. But being hyper focused with that enclosure been really hard to do all that. Obviously, between like my website and that, it's my time is just it's. I sleep and work. That's about all I'm doing right now. And then fish, I've got the trout goodeids. I got some daffodils, the Burchard eyes. Lots of endlers like the El Silverados, some split tails. I don't really know all of them. I've got other ones that I really need to organize and be like, all right, I can just let you go. Like, it's so funny. I've got all these tanks, but like, I'm such a hoarder. I'm such a hoarder of fish. And then plants, God, pearlweed, Balsinaria, guppy grass, that kind of stuff. Need to get these rare crypts going, but we'll get all that when the website goes. Lucas, do you have any tips to growing a subwasser tang? So subwasser tang is one of those plants that really do love water changes. So minimal water changes, not real big water changes, but like 20% water changes weekly. Really good for subwasser tang. They like more of the lower light. They don't need a whole lot of light. You don't need CO2 with them. You can grow them without CO2. Harder water is more difficult for subwater tang. It does prefer like a more neutral, softer water. Now you can grow them in hard water, but sometimes if you're not like doing your water changes, that hard water can um, calcify onto the subwasser tank, making it harder for it to grow out. But if you're doing your water changes, then that reoxygenation, you'll see it. You'll see the um, subwasser tank grabbing the oxygen and start pearling and stuff, and that's what really gets that subwasser tank going. And often it'll float up to the surface too, and that's why I mentioned a smaller water change, because if you do a bigger water change, it's definitely going to pop up to the surface and start floating, and then it may turn itself around, it may fall funny, and then if it does that, you ever roll like moss or sub wasser thing over, it then has to grow in and through itself again, and when that happens, you often get algae and stuff. And if you're doing a smaller water change, it's less likely to float all the way up. Gary Brenton, what's up, my dude? Hope you're doing good. Says LRB made the live stream. What up, my guys? Stay grinding. You have to use RO water. Top offs will crush coral, help the TDS. Yeah, so if you're doing um RO top offs, like I've honestly wouldn't even worry about adding the crushed coral in for TDS unless like it's long periods of time. So if you already got harder water and you're just topping off, and as long as it doesn't like drop the TDS to like some stupid low number, as long as you're like still in the hundreds or so, I wouldn't even worry about the crushed coral. But if you feel like you need that remineralization, I would go with something more like a GH booster. It's more practical, it's a lot cheaper, and it's exactly made for remineralizing RO water as far as getting your TDS to where it needs to be. It can crush coral can help as far as like if it's in the tank and it's more of like a slow release of calcium as the acidity of the soft water eats it away. That's why crushed coral can make some differences within harder water tanks because it does leach out calcium and minerals and stuff. And the softer your water is, the more it can acidify that crushed coral. But if your water's like more towards neutral or around like 200 TDS or something like that, it really doesn't um, deteriorate it much to where it's actually doing much. So that's why GH boosters are good. I've got a couple GH boosters. Used to use Nilo CG. God, it's been so long since I even used it or bought it. There was another place I got some too that was actually cheaper than Nilo CGs. But I don't even know what they go for anymore. You can get a pound of them for like a decent amount. My whole fish room is around 170 TDS. The only time I do add a little bit of the remineralizer is in for like my endlers and guppies and some of my shrimp, which I don't know if I really need it because I do get a lot of mineralization that comes through the water because I mean Florida is nothing but all crushed coral, so that kind of helps me out. So really, I mean, that's kind of like what you're asking too. Like it literally goes through my environment and my well as rainwater comes down, runs through the crushed coral, and then turns it into 170. So it's like the substrate in my property, in my yard, is my remineralizer. Pretty well. Rick D says, is 18 GH and 13 KH too hard for cherry shrimp? Oh, no, not at all. You can't really get too hard of water for cherry shrimp. They can live in the hardest of waters. They love mineral water. And you're sitting at, what is that? That's, shoot, 310? That's not bad at all. I used to keep them in 400, 500 up in Indiana. And then now I keep same strains, 170. The Neocardianos are super hardy. Now, if you guys are into planted aquariums, like the harder to keep planted aquariums, a lot of people use the RO because they'll get rid of that KH. KH is like the devil to plants. because that's what will really calcify their outside of them. Scott, how's it going, man? Hope you're doing good. You still into those Goodeids? Actually, should I hope you're still into the Goodeids. You doing a talking Pasco this winter? That'd be awesome. Definitely got to talk because I know you got some good Goodeids. Lucas, I have a question for you to scroll up. How did I miss it? Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. I don't know which question I missed. Oh. Aquarium Fantasy says, Lucas, will you do a video on what you have on sale? That way people know you have available. Phew. I mean, that's a good idea. God, I'm a terrible businessman. No, I really, that's a great idea. The thing is, it was so easy with my website, like with what was in stock, and I had certain things together. But we'd have to do like a full walkabout. I feel like I would need a repeater, or I guess I could do like a regular video. That's not a bad idea. There may be potential I have time for it. Because tomorrow's supposed to be pretty hot, and I don't really want to be building on that deck out in that heat. Granted, I want to get it done. Got to do all my cuts on it. I don't know. I may do that instead. It would be smart as far as like, because the only thing left on the enclosure that I got to do and what I really need funding for, well, that and to pay like Sarah back off of money I borrowed off her and other people, which sucks because I got to catch up with all that. Is I got to get the wood for the screen enclosures, and then it's done, and that's like the last wrap up. That's gonna like tie it all in together. So I'm just hoping we get that website going soon. Of course, I'm gonna definitely be calling GoDaddy here in the morning again over that stuff. Mac Aquarium says, speaking of Pasco, you going to the next meet? I would like to. I don't even know who's talking. Sometimes the speaker will just, I've got to go. Like when Scott goes, I'm definitely going to be going to that. I should be able to. I should be able to. I really want to. I usually always do too. Hard to miss a club meeting. I hate missing a club meeting. They're literally like once a month. West Texas TDS is like 700 to 950, says Carrie. Says, but it's the oil patch out there. No clue what's in the water. I know there is negligible amount of lead. That's gotta not be good, right? I don't know. A lot of people used to eat like lead paint chips and stuff back in the day. I don't know if they really did that, but they used to say it as a joke. I don't know. I'm not a scientist as far as lead, and I don't know if I really believe all this because sometimes they tell you things that are harmful for you that may actually not be. And if your fish are doing right, I mean that's actually a good test. Is like if your fish do good, then if there might like you'll be able to see it through your fish. And if so, like you probably don't want to drink that. But 709.50 TDS is insane. And because of the oil patch, you get like oil in it. Like I don't even understand that. That's crazy. Like that's straight liquid rock. You could probably make stalagmites and stuff from your faucet, or stalactites, I guess would be the proper ones because stalactites hang. Jeff Kane, Empire Dirt Aquatics, bronze member, 46 months. Thank you, members. And yes, you members are actually the ones that are even floating me on anything right now. So thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you members. Like, huge, huge, huge thank you. Maybe I'll do a special live for you guys off the enclosure here. I need to do something special for you guys. And I can't wait till this starts getting done and really focus on being more of a YouTuber for you guys. Mark L is the speaker? Oh yeah, definitely gotta go to that. Let's see. Well, the TDS here is around 120, says Sunny G. Man, that's some nice TDS, Sunny. We having all those aquascape tanks with all the nice plants. I wonder how much of that is GH and KH. Besmajado says, I don't see you using UVC lights. I may be wrong. Do you think I need it for fish like discus to keep them healthy? No. No, I don't think you do. I mean, actually, it could depend on where you're at and what comes through your water. If you have like worms or maybe parasites, it could probably help with some of that stuff. But you don't really need it. Like I had one in my old house on my water change system, but it was city water, and you don't really have to worry about that kind of stuff as much through city water. But being here in the well water, I've never even been like, oh, I feel like I need a UV light for anything. I think that's just total overkill for sure. Discus do like water changes, so you gotta do the water changes for discus. For Aquarium Fantasy bronze member, 29 months. Thank you, thank you. And Redneck Aquatic Sean Pittman, the 21 months. So why does it just say that? Like, are you guys renewing it, or is there something you guys press for that? Or why is it reminding me? That's crazy though. You guys are awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Empire of Dirt Aquatic Chef Kane says, LRB, any chance you're gonna go to the Bluegrass Fish event in Kentucky next June? Is that one going to have like the multiple clubs in it? I think I saw Rusty Wessel posting something. Is that the one he's doing? If so, that's one I like. Do want to go to. Maroc, Oscar. I would love to go to all of them. Actually, it's just getting time and just being able to do that. Gary Britton, dude, thank you so much for a $10 super chat. Much appreciated, much love. Thank you, thank you. Barack Oscar says, which type of fish was the easiest for you to keep in Indianapolis? The one that really thrived in local water. Shoot, rainbow fish, guppies, cichlids, any kind of cichlids. You could probably goldfish, which I didn't keep them there, but they would probably do awesome. Really like Danios. Those hill stream loaches did really well, surprisingly. Um, you can keep a lot of the fish in Indiana hard water. A lot of them don't really even need soft water. It's just they need soft water for breeding. Usually when you see like those parameters, if you want to get them to breed, like I could keep all kinds of tetras in there, which like often people be like, oh, you need softer water for them. But no, you really don't. Like to breed them, yes, but not so much to keep them. Just make sure if you're in Indianapolis, you dechlor your water. And God, watch out for that water every once in a while because they will try to stuff a bunch of chemicals down, usually as spring's coming about and as fall's coming about, is when they will flush a bunch of chems down it. and sometimes there'll be way too much chlorine in there, and you gotta dose more dechlor. You usually smell when they do it too. I remember that got me a couple of times, and it sucked. Luckily, I would notice it sooner than later, but that's actually why I really learned about water like crazy. Just trying to figure out all those little things, because when you keep such rare fish, you really don't want any errors. Denny Blake V says, for the fifth, says thoughts on CO2 to establish a pointed tank. Now you don't need it. Yes, it can help. It's kind of like steroids for plants, and it's also another thing about plants is when plants get off those steroids, it would do what it does to a human and shrink them back down. Why, if you get plants from somebody who uses CO2 to pump them up, and you put them into a non CO2 tank, it'll kind of convert back down to their more miniature size. But you don't really need it. It can help. It does have adverse effects for fish because it gets them drunk and it does mess with them a bit. That's why you'll see one of those aquascaping tanks. They don't really have old fish in them. So it depends on what you really want out of your aquarium. If you want it more for like the aquascape look, then it could definitely help. But just make sure it's a consistent, steady CO2, because when you have like ups and downs of not having it can cause issues because it causes confusion with the plants. Which, if that happens, it can allow the opportunity for algae to take over and stuff. Redneck Aquatic Stan Pittman says, I am East Texas, 800 TDS from the tap. Oh my God. Is that out in the country or is that in like town? Because I thought 500 was the limit. Does I go through 200 gallons of RO per week? That's wild. That's wild. You know that thing's discharging like crazy. You could literally farm that mineralization right out of it. Deacon Bean Cooter says, I tried to place an order. The web page was down. So, Deacon Bean Cooter, if you are trying to get something, yes, right now the website has been an absolute nightmare because of GoDaddy, and still trying to get that all figured out. But if you are really wanting something, email us at lraquatics@gmail.com and let me know what you want, and we can go from there. Is Fish Fam Link a bot? I think it's actually a person. Or no, I don't know. No, I think it is. Person? Mod? No, it's not a bot. I don't have bots. And thank you for thanking Carrie for us. Been in the community for a long time. Well, thanks, Stan. I appreciate that. Aquarium Fantasy says, Lucas, what is left for the outside project to finish? So now I'm at the point I just got to seal between the barn and the decking that I put up at the top, so like frogs and stuff can't get down into the cracks. So I had to like put screen underneath the decking and everything so things don't get through that. And I've got all that done. I've got to do the cut boards on the deck, which is like only about 15% of it. So like 85% of the big deck up top is built. And so I just got to do that. That's like a day's work, maybe two, because there are some crazy cuts on a few spots. And then I just got to put the screen up. I got to make all the screen frames and put that in. I've got one in. It wasn't that bad. Worked out really good. Looks freaking phenomenal. Besides that, that's like the main things that need done. I'll probably go through and on the like main holding points, I'll probably block a couple 4x4s up underneath them just for like hurricane stirability and just being able to sleep better at night. Like it's strong, it's sturdy, especially once I get the frames in it. It's built like I'm excited for it. I can't wait to show it to you guys. Oh yeah, that's all that's left. So I would say probably about $2,000 left in the project, which is not bad. Matter of fact, I've got a whole roll of screen on the floor there. If you see this tube, the 8 foot roll. That's how big the screens are. Like Aquarium says, I'm pretty against the use of CO2 unless you're really pushing plants that need it, and most of us can't even source those. You can. You just got to really go into the rabbit holes of aquarium keeping. Clubs are great for that. So are like pages on Facebook and stuff. I'm sort of the same way too. I'm not a big fan of it. I used to use it a lot, but if you use it like really sparingly, the real trick is to just use a little bit of it. Don't use that much of it. JP Jeffrey says, I have Indiana limestone water. Gonna try and acclimate them to a 50/50 RO. Any tips on how fast or slow? You could just go ahead and just do it. When I lived in Indiana, I literally just switched my whole fish room from hard water to a 50/50 RO with everything and everybody, and I didn't have any issues with it. That's where I learned that the fish and the shrimp aren't as sensitive as we really make them out to be. When we mess around with too much of the parameters and stuff, that's when real problems happen. And we're trying to put this in it and put that in it, trying to keep it too clean, keep it too sterile, not let nature be what nature is. That's when problems happen. And we've got to let nature be what nature is. Yes, we can be the rain. Yes, we can set the environment, but you've got to let nature. And that's usually on a microbiology level. That's the most important part with keeping aquariums is letting the microbiology do what it needs to do. Yes, country private water company. They get nervous when I call. I need to call the state water regulators. Yeah, sounds like it. I bet. I mean, especially being a private water company. And I don't know how that works out there in Texas too, because I know like there's some dry areas there, and there's a reason why they're privatized like that. Um, and I wonder how low you got to go to get to the well water, and what the well water would be like. 'Cause I don't think I don't know. I'd find it kind of wild for well water to come out that hard, but it ain't impossible. Highest I ever seen water was at 1100, and that was on a mount, like on sort of like a mountain on the St. John Island in the Caribbean, and it was just nothing but fossilized water. It was crazy. And there's guppies and shrimp living in it. Beto Great Lakes, what's up, dude? Says Lucas, which of the Rams do you like the most? I honestly like the normal Rammer, the Ramirez, like the regular, just original wild. That would be my favorite. The blue ones are pretty cool. The ones that are more blue. Is your mic broke? Barely can hear you. Oh, for real, for real. I don't know. Your volume up. What do you guys think? Is my mic broke or is it working? But at least you asked or said something. Well, you were welcome, Rock. Glad you can make it, Flood City. Sounds good. Good to hear. Dean Stevenson says, "Have you looked into Shop Pay or Affirm to set up a storefront? I think it's free." No, I haven't even heard of those. Here, I'll take a little clip. There we go. Take a little pic. I'll look into them. Aquarium Fantasy says, "Lucas, would you do a live stream outside now that you have better internet?" Yeah. For like outside was one of my best places to do lives, and why I would do them often out before this. So the internet doesn't really make a difference with outside, but we'll definitely be doing more out there. Thomas G, my dude, it's been a while. Good to see you in here, man. Throwing down a $20 super chat. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Says, "Oh, did we get internet upgrade?" We did. Finally in the bar. Finally, we got the fiber in here, and next thing I need to do is get some repeaters so we can get into like the belly of the beast. But yeah, we'll probably be doing a lot more live streams here. But I'm gonna miss. I won't lie. I will miss Lady LRB's plant room because I did kind of like doing my lives in there. It's a nice backdrop. But maybe she'll start doing lives. I don't know. I don't know. It'd be cool if she did. What is that? Jeff Kane sent 10 members, 10 memberships. My goodness, Jeff, thank you, brother. Awesome, dude. And I'm glad that YouTube actually told me. It used to be YouTube would not even tell me if somebody did that, and now I can see that. So that's good. Right on. Carrie Brent says, and Carrie knows how to ask questions. Carrie's doing it right. He throws that red question mark up there, the red exclamation mark. That definitely gets my attention. He says my well is at 100 feet deep. Dang, with 20 foot water, the deep wells are 300 plus foot and would cost way too much to drill for residential here in West Texas. Yeah, 300 foot. That's pretty far down for a deep well. That would, I mean, I think here they do like 100 foots around 10,000. Don't have to go far for a deep well here. So that's, I mean, probably at least 30 grand. I don't know what it takes to go 20 foot deeper. And it's that hard, huh? Must just be the mineral out there. It's a dry area. You get much rain where you're at? Baba Nabob. Baba Nabob. Did I say that right? Maybe. Hey Lucas, do you still raise half pigs? You're one of the only people I've seen with them. What's been your experience with them? Been trying to find some, but they're so rare. I didn't know they were really that rare. I don't really keep them so much anymore because they are jumpy fish, and I've got to have a lot of space to like really breed them. It's probably why you don't see them much, is because of the amount of space it does take to breed them, the time it takes to breed them. I really should like focus more on them. They like the hard water. I know that they did breed better in the hard water than they did in my softer water here. But yeah, with jumpy fish, I've been trying to get rid of like all my jumper type fish just because I don't like any kind of like tops or covers on my tanks. This kind of it messes with my workflow for the most part. Oh, and that's cool. It shows me who all he gave memberships to. Nice, nice. Welcome all you new members. Now you messed up your mic. Oh, it must be where I'm holding it. Here, you put it on my beard. I'll talk like this, like I'm a serious YouTuber. All right, guys, ready for this Q&A? Okay, maybe it's just me. Sound is good again. I don't know. Going for questions. Why isn't Lady LRB a channel member? Yeah, I don't know. Good question. She doesn't even support me. What the heck, Lady LRB? I mean, she at least feeds me dinner though. And as a man, that is very important support. Can't do it without her. Boba Noba, or what is it? Baba Nobo is how it's pronounced. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. So I am at the bottom of the chat. If you got a question, that's where I'm at. And what do we got here? It's 47 minutes in. I don't know. I don't know. I guess we could probably walk about a little bit. Let's see what happens. What do you guys think? Should we do that? There's a couple tanks with lights on them still. They're not the prettiest right now because they haven't had water changes or cleaning or scraping in a long time. Granted, that's the beauty part about this fish room is like I don't have to do a whole lot of scraping on it. Let's I'll probably have to oh, excuse me. Yeah, give it a try. Let's see here. See, this is my desk out here, old construction stuff. Why I have so many staples? I don't know. Let's see. Whoa. Gotta hold the phone still here. Yes, yes, yes. Of course, you guys want to see the test the limits of your fiber. Yes, let's do that. Look at this. I can't duckweed in my face because my father-in-law from the river got in, and I think the out there in here somehow, and some duckweed got in here. And or I just started to. Oh, dude, you guys want to know something? Here we go. Holy crap. Glitching. Yeah, a little Lego Lucas action. We're back. You guys here with me? So, get this. We weren't even on Wi Fi this whole time. I wasn't even on the fiber. So, I just got it on the Wi Fi. I forgot to hit the Wi Fi on the freaking phone. But I'm glad that my regular internet worked for it. And now we're on the Wi Fi. So, hopefully that works. Jeez Louise. Talk about dotting my I's and crossing my T's, huh? The only problem with this fish room too though is all the lights and the glare. But I'm not gonna block off like I don't even I love how this looks, but function wise, like I don't really like it. Because I got the black trap drop on these and I can't really see my fish when I'm feeding. I like to see my fish when I'm feeding. This is a test here because I'm like, you so clear you guys can see? Does it look good? You almost asked at the start, Lady LRB, man. You should have. Then these guys, God, I gotta get these guys moved. Look, they got a bunch of little babies in their tank. See them? You little fry baby. These are the Selfin Shiner. I haven't moved them much or bred much of them because people don't really buy them because I don't think they really know much about them. And it's hard to even see them. Come on, guys, hold still. I do have some of those for sale. I've got maybe 12 of them that are grown out in another tank ready to sell. That's a more native fish here. There's actually a bunch of clown loaches and goldfish in here. Hey, buddy, what are you doing? This is the one tank I can't clean. You can see on the bottom there, Lady LRB's got to clean it for me because my arm won't fit through the little crack up there. Eventually, I'm going to tear this whole wall down and we'll redo it and we'll have more tanks over here. I'll still have these 75s up front. Oh, these guys are skittish. Little mascara barbs. They have quite the unique environment. They've literally just weaved this path through this mass of plants that's been in here forever. And they keep it mowed and trimmed how they want it. Pretty neat. Here's my miniature goldfish. All my little runts. You can tell, like, from the shrimp how big they are. Put the mic back on your shirt. Why am I too close to it? I'm not too loud. Much better picture now. Nice. Yeah, this has been a long time coming, trying to get good internet in here. I guess, and this is a cool little tank. It looks like during the day, it looks like there's nothing in here at all. But then at night, when the lights come off, you can see one. There's a little Synodontis catfish there. But at nighttime, it just explodes with catfish at the top of the water. I'll have to get a clip for you guys here at some point. Goldfish down there being shy. What are you guys doing? I think it's because the camera throws like infrared off and it scares the fish. That's the only problem with using a phone anymore. It used to not be that big of an issue. I find it to be much more of an issue these days. Where like the phone cameras just freak them out. A little bunny. A little bass. All different sizes. Those guys are pretty fresh. That one might have popped out just recently. Whoa, look at the fight. Oh my god, they're getting down. Fight, fight, fight. Oh no, I mean, don't fight. Stop it, you guys. Easy little rascals. Look at all them cherry shrimp, though. Crazy. There's that 8-foot screen I got here. That's for the enclosure. Let's see. Let's go. Okay, the real test would be to go back here. Let's see. Message hope for Lens also looks like a big ass. Does it? Let's see. Oh, and if you guys do got questions, I'll be looking. But just replace the wood doors with curtain. No, I don't even want to be having to put my hand through curtains and stuff. I want to do none of that. This is my rando tank. I love this tank. Some killifish, swordtails, danios. Come on, turn to the side, little buddy. What are you? There you go. Oh, you're a Saccharami. One of those rare cares. Here's another little killifish. What are you? You want to turn around? I think that's a Sheila. Another one down there. I love the Sagittaria in this tank. It's awesome. Here's a big catfish. How's the internet looking back here? Much better picture. Let's turn this bad boy off. Got a fish room. Definitely want one of those. Here's the Brett's eye. Actually, I think they're Cali Rums. Now, if this is working back here, that'd be nuts. I can't believe I'm not disconnected right now. Look at that. That looks cool. Between the Valley of Rainbows. Funny thing is, I don't even know what type those are. I think they may be the Cali Rum. Got knife live bears here. Cool little live bear. Got the Matano rice fish back there. Why they all hide? No. You don't want no part of this. Sonergo rainbows. I think these are about ready. I think it's about time I release some of these Sonergo rainbows actually. Whoa. I assume you guys been wanting those. Oh, an axolotl tank. With the axolotls. I think 7 axolotls in there. The dark ones are harder to see. Oh, little buddy. Axolotls, axolotls. Little axolotls. Just added more guppies and endlers for him. That guy's up there. He's ready to ambush. Well, yeah, there's some of the fish room. Some of the fish room. A little bit of it. Well, I can't believe we made it past that. That's crazy. How did that look back there? That is great. All right. All right. Those Smirgos are pretty. That bit says, hi Lucas, hi everyone. Any plans for new goodies? Recently got the Black Prince, and they are amazing. I've not heard of those. Yes, eventually I would like to get some. Can't really focus on new fish right now because this build I've got to focus on. But we'll be getting back into that sort of stuff here soon. Oh, definitely got lots of these black and red koi guppies. Any of you guys want those? Excuse me. Little trout goodie is ready for y'all. And steak endlers. Those baddies out. That Luigi archeata. Because one of my, like, as far as like easy to keep plants with color, that one is it. You get different shades of it. You can see here in the higher lit areas, the more color it has compared to where the light's not as high and it's more green. So higher light, more color you get from it. If you want a red, a very low tech red, it's the Rotalia Hurrah. Kind of a random tank. Yeah, gold ring Danios. One of my favorites. There's a coral red pencil fish and cardinals. It's more of a personal tank for me. There's some albino rice fish babies in it. Hopefully they do well. They're a real pain to grow out. They've been doing pretty good in here. Outside, for some reason, they only get so big and then they disappear on me. It's got Rotalia colorata in it. This one's empty. That one's just full of anacris. There's one of those Richard. Oh, he ran. Bunch of trout beauties. Pseudo Mughal Arutus. Little trout dudes. Little trout dudes. Black and yellow guppies. Whoa, they're freaking out, man. Freaking out. Where are the black and yellows? Come up here, show yourselves. Yes, I'm gonna feed you. Psych. But look, the females even got nice color on them. Well, those, just that black and yellow combo looks cool. It's got that little bit of white on them too. It makes them pop. Some flagfish. What? I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. But yeah, there's some tanks. There is some tanks. Let's see. Lucas, now you have to do a live stream outside with that internet. For sure. I want to do one off that new deck that I had just built up there. Scroll. Gills the Garden says, should I do anything with the used substrate I'm removing from tanks that I'll be using later in new tanks? I'm rebuilding my fish room and will be reusing the substrate. So if you want to keep the live bacteria in it, set it back up. Then it's a good idea to keep some water in it in like a 5-gallon bucket, but let it breathe. But if you don't care, then you don't really have to do anything special. Just don't. You can enclose it too. Just make sure it's not like kept in a dark, damp area. Make sure that it can breathe. As far as either close it tight and then you can put it in a dark, damp area. But if you keep it open, you want it in more of a place that it can breathe. Hope that makes sense. Mac Aquarium says, why do people want to buy the fish from me? You can get a Petco but never look goods or like half beaks or other different fish. So I think a lot of where people get their fish usually depends on how deep in the rabbit hole they are of fish keeping. So for like you guys who do get fish for me, you guys are in the rabbit hole of fish keeping as far as you guys have gone beyond Petco and the base surface of aquarium keeping. So you guys are real aquarium keepers. Like I'm not saying that the people who just go to Petco aren't real aquarium keepers. They're just kind of getting their toes wet. And you know, that's why I do a lot of what I do too. Is for that fact is there is so many different types of fish out there beyond like your Petco fish that I think it's important for us breeders to be keeping and conserving. Especially like when COVID happened and there's a lot of supply chain crashes. A lot of farms went down, so certain fish you just can't get anymore. And I've seen a lot of fish cycle through where like these fish were all over like during this period, and then like a few years later you can't find them, and that happens quite often. And it's really good for more people to be keeping aquariums, especially like us hardcore keepers, because it all helps and works in a connection all together within the community. Padma, which country are you from? America. Good old America. All right. Anybody else got any other questions? If not, I think I'm going to hop off here because it is about that time. And I am so happy and glad that we have good service in here. And I can't believe we even made it into like the back lab part. That was the true test for fiber internet. And I'm glad it actually worked. But I appreciate you guys joining me. And hope you guys may have learned something. And I hope to see you guys again here sometime soon. So till next time, everybody, peace. Have a good one. Da 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 da.